owner of Blessings Wellness Center, co-host of The Rundown with Sheena.
Hey everybody, you know it's Sheena, the lady behind the Master Book and the author of The Mask Behind the Mask, owner of Sheena Master Motivation, and so many other titles. We are here today with one of our special guests, Tashawn Murdock.
Welcome,
in the building.
What's up, everybody?
We always do this. You know, we always start
sharing.
sharing. Don't mind if it thinks that we're not like into you right now, because we really are. But
Look, the other phone is ringing.
look, how many phones? You sound like you feel like me.
It's
Look,
work.
the other phone is ringing.
Working.
Working man.
Okay, so Tashawn Murdock, you are a man. I was reading the bio that you sent, Sheena, and you are a man of many traits.
Very much so. I do a lot.
You are.
Probably.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you. Probably too much, but
It's never too much, baby. Whatever God gives us, if it's on our plate, it's there for a reason.
Definitely.
I hear that. I hear
So,
that.
how about you tell us about yourself,
Okay.
Mr. Murdock?
I'll start with I have a wife and a 7-year-old son.
Congratulations.
Thank you. What can I say about marriage? Marriage has been great. We've been married 8 years.
Honey, I'm about to get married, so how about a few pointers for the woman that's about to be married in like a month?
Be patient.
I've been patient with him already. I gotta do more patience?
Yep.
Yes. And I say be patient, probably more so with him than you.
Okay.
Because my wife has been patient. You know.
Yes, I do know the missus. Hi.
So just be patient, and after the first year, you'll be good.
Okay.
You'll be good. The first year is the hardest.
So does it really change after you guys get married? Because that's why I'm like, babe, like we've been together like almost 5 years.
So I think people get comfortable. So I think for me, I got comfortable. It was more me than her.
Okay.
And then, I always say when you do stupid things, you get reactions.
Yeah.
So, I got some reactions.
That wasn't so good, I can
Right.
tell. Okay.
So, but once you really give it everything you have, it's awesome. But I think people get comfortable, and my wife was one of those people who would not allow me to remain comfortable.
Oh, that's right, honey.
So, people do. I think people. I don't want to say people change. I think people get comfortable, and sometimes they're not. People. They're married for 5 or 6 years, and they're like, "Oh, this person isn't going anywhere, so we won't do anything else. We'll just stay stagnant."
And that's not good. That's one thing I worried about. I'm like, listen, we're gonna be together forever. We're gonna have to end up spike. Cause it's like you don't want to be redundant and it's doing the same things over and over. I'm like, we're gonna have to like
Spice it up.
I'm like, when we like 80 years old, babe, what we gonna be doing?
I cannot.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I always
We
try
need
to
to
figure
figure
that
it
out. Like,
You know what I
what
mean?
are people be doing when we're 80? I'm still not really high. I just turned 33.
God
so.
bless you. You still a baby. I'm the old one. That's why I had to cover up these grays, y'all.
Yeah.
I threw the hat on today. Well, I'm just saying I had to. I am. I'm like 10. I'm gonna be 10 years older than you.
That's okay. Listen, somebody said to me the other day that the 30 is the new 20.
It is. And
I'm about
40s
to
is the
hit
new
40,
30. So
I'll be
40 is
40
the
in
new
November.
30. So you accomplished so much and you're young still.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I used to have like 6 or 7 businesses, and now I think I'm down to.
He said 6 or 7,
he
you
said
guys.
6 or 7, yes.
See,
He
this
did.
is what?
He did.
Hey, this is where we call inspiration because
Well, I wouldn't say so. That's just the number. So what I would say is, and I always tell people that it's better to have one and provide quality service than to have 6 or 7
that is a whole fact.
and not provide quality service.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, having 6 or 7 didn't allow me to really focus on the quality and the content of which I'm providing people. And so, 6 or 7 businesses. I've started my One Team, One Dream off of friends, and we had all of these great ideas. One friend, he had like a computer business, and he specialized in frying chicken somehow. So that was one thing, and then the other friend was still a college student, and he was throwing parties at the time. So it was like, how are we going to make money off the parties? At the same time, I'm trying to help entrepreneurs get started and their own business. And then from there, even right up until, probably the last year, we were doing all kind of different things, business consulting. We were, trying to help people in need. We were managing other people's business. And so all of those things are great, but then there's no one focus.
Yeah.
And so we've really narrowed it down to just the nonprofit side of it, where we're providing, we're working to help individuals who are in need. We just 2 weeks ago had our second annual Feed the Community.
Oh, nice.
And
Awesome.
we, thank you. Yeah, we fed 400 people.
Wow, that's amazing.
So our company goal is 200, and then we partnered with KeyBank and the Valley Cats. They donated another 200 meals.
Wow.
Burrito, which is I think in this vicinity somewhere in Troy, they donated another like 100 vegan patties and lettuce.
Thank you, Burrito. Shout out to you.
So.
Thank you, Ben.
KeyBank too, yeah, I can't forget them.
Yeah, can't forget them.
So we ended up feeding like 600 people altogether.
Wow.
We just count the 400 because we donated the stuff from Burrito to a youth development program in Albany. So, Sheena will tell you it was a long, drawn out process. We started planning. What, June? May, June, somewhere. And to be able to feed 400 individuals.
Well, you actually fed 600. Don't forget that
600,
200, honey.
So-
And you probably fed more because some people probably were sharing some of that food with other people.
Right. So, the goal is really to help people who are in need.
Yeah.
And to really not judge them about, where they're coming from. A lot of times when people who are homeless or who are in need, they go to these places and somebody's out there judging them. And we don't want to do that. Listen, I want you to get your food. You can be happy. We also gave out care packages too.
Oh, that's what's up.
So we added care packages this year. So
that was a huge hit.
That was a hit. Yeah. So we'll do that again next year. And
you might have to take the rundown with them. Let us know when you do that.
I was there.
Yeah.
I just couldn't go. I was working.
Okay.
I was feeding people.
The rundown was there on the, on the low.
On the low. So we my wife is the one who actually came up with the idea.
That's amazing.
And so I always say I'm the catalyst. She always is like, hey babe, we should do so and so. And then I'm the one that's like, all right, let's go on and do it.
That's what's up. That's why you guys make a good team.
Right.
Awesome.
So she came up with the idea. And then, I'm the one who's like, all right, let's go connect with this person and that person. And, so we did it last year, and it was on a small level with my wife. And we had like 20 volunteers. This year, I think we had like 40.
Wow. And even next year's going to be even more, imagine. And every year afterwards.
Yep. So we're excited about that. But, 1C1 Junior, the Capital District is the primary focus. And then my book is another thing.
So how did you decide that you wanted to be a writer? How did you decide that you wanted to become an author?
In my many businesses, I decided
I can and I will, you guys. Look at this book.
Yeah, you like that? That covers everything.
That is. I love it. Let's show. I'm not gonna show you all, okay? But I'll give you a little preview.
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo. I see you.
Now buy the book.
Okay.
Right.
Go buy the book.
That is cute. I love.
We'll
I'm getting my copy
make sure
today.
we drop in there where you can get it from.
And that's why I have the pens on table so you can get my autographed copy of that. Thank you very much.
So, as far as becoming a writer, I've always wanted to write a book. I've wanted to write a book since I was like 24.
Okay.
Problem is again, my brain and having an entrepreneur brain, you think that you have to like write this large masterpiece of a book.
Oh my gosh, that was my first book that I didn't publish and I don't plan on it.
Right.
Literally 500 pages.
Yeah. And it's like you think you have to do that, and so my problem was getting past the first page. So getting past the first page was not a thing for me. I would start writing and only have a paragraph, and then I would say, all right, get to the paragraph, and then the next day, all right, yeah, I'm gonna write some more. Then I have writer's block.
I was just gonna say, is that what they call writer's block? Okay.
So then you don't know what to write, and you want to make sure you know what you're talking about, and so at that point, I stopped doing it. And so this year, I want to say in March, I said to a few friends of mine, I was like, hey, listen, man, I'm going to write a book this year. And they're like, yo, bro, that's dope, you know? And I think I said it to you too. I'm like, yo, you're an author. Listen, I might be hitting you up. I'm about to write this book. And she's like, well, what is it going to be about? I have no idea, but we're going to get there.
That's that manifestation, baby. Putting it out there to receive.
Yep. So I thought about it, and I said, you know, I'm a youth development professional. I work with kids for a living. I've been doing it since I was 19. So why not stick in the area that you specialize in? Why go out in these other realms, in these other areas, to write something that you don't specialize in?
Exactly.
So I sat down. I mean, I wrote this book in probably 15 minutes.
Wow.
Because it all came to me because I've been pondering over this book for years, right? And I always have this belief that if you can't get it done right then and there, eventually the idea will come. And so, you know, I said, okay, children's book. And I really wanted to inspire kids to be anything and everything they want to be, right? So think about it if you were a kid, or when you were a kid, we were all kids, and how we had people in our lives at one point tell us, hey, you know, and times have changed, right? Education has changed, how things are conveyed have changed. But back then when I went to school, you know, we had teachers always telling us, you know, you can be anything you want to be. You know, that was the message that teachers were giving. With all the stuff going on today, you don't really hear that as much. We don't really hear about careers, and we don't hear about empowering kids to be whatever they want to be. And it starts, to me, it starts at an early age. It doesn't start, you know, at 16. And we think that it starts at 16, but it doesn't.
You got to instill it early. You got to give them that confidence. You got to give them that morale. You got to give them that vision.
Right, so that's what this book is really meant to do, is to give them that vision, but really, yeah, it covers, it's kind of broad, so it also covers the piece. It talks about, you know, the careers, but it also talks about overcoming obstacles. And I want to say in a light view, because when you're writing a children's book, you got to be careful how deep you get.
Yeah.
And so we were, you know, I tried to be real careful about how far I went into talking about obstacles. So, you know, in one of the pages, it's like a young lady climbing a mountain, you know. So the idea is that you're going to face any obstacles, right? We know that a lot of our kids live in underprivileged communities, and they face obstacles. We don't know what they go home to. We don't know what they're facing. We don't know what they're facing in school. We have no idea. They can be bullied in school. You know, there's just a lot that happen. And they need to know that no matter what, first and foremost, you can be anything. You put in the hard work,
That
you
is
know.
a whole fact.
You put in the hard work, you can be anything. And then on top of that, you can overcome whatever obstacles you're facing.
Yes.
So for example, that mountain that young lady is climbing, once you get to the top, it's everything once you get to the top.
The world is yours, baby. The world is yours.
Let me show you my power. Superhero.
So that's really the point of the book. So there's two pieces of it. So we really want to go around and inspire kids to be anything they want to be, and really drive home the point that, you know, despite what you're facing at home.
Can I put I'm gonna put one. No,
Yep.
leave that there. It needs to be under the view.
Yep.
All right. I don't know if you guys got a good view, but you know, I'll check it.
So I should have brought my things from home.
Oh, that stands up.
Yep.
I told you.
So listen, today was that day. So
it's all right.
Freestyle Friday.
We gonna make it work.
So you know, the book isn't long, and I've had people say, you know, it should be longer. I've had people say it's great where it is. But we've given it out to kids, and we've gotten great reviews.
And that's all that
thus
matters.
far. So the next piece of the book is that we know that with any book, the cost, we were just talking about this, the cost for us. So let me go back. So I self-published my book. So, you know, I love her to death. I heard her story, and I was like, I'm not going that route, because I want this to be
more. I went on a whole nother platform and had them do it for me. Like he did it himself. Like how you did yours.
Yeah.
So I self-published.
Totally, yeah.
Oh.
Mine is
So,
still self-publishing. It's just I had a
You have the PR company.
I have the PR company.
So we didn't want.
See, I don't know nothing about this, y'all. But I'm learning. Teach me.
So we well, let me say I didn't want to go through a PR company because it takes the personalization out of the movement. And it's a movement, I guess you could say.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
No, wait. Hear me. So what I mean by that is, for an adult, it's different. You know, an adult has the cognizance to go in the store and be able to connect with a book. With kids, sometimes we have to meet them where they are. And so for me, I said I want this to be a grassroots movement, promotion, whatever you want to call it, where we're connecting with kids and individuals ourselves. Listen, the reality is that a parent, and I hate to say it, they're not going in Target and looking at the bookshelf for their kids, and that's the reality.
Some of y'all might.
I'm about to say I do,
Some
but
parents
every parent is
might.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's
So some of the parents,
So I get
you
what
know,
you're saying, though.
I can't say I ever did, y'all.
See, my kids like to read, and that's why.
I did not
But-
like reading.
So let me say this. So what I'm talking about is those parents who don't have access.
Yes,
So we can't assume that everybody has that access.
exactly.
So for the parents who don't have the access, we want to make sure we're connecting with those parents and those kids. And I have this firm belief that we meet them where they are. So, you know, I wanted to keep my face by the book,
Yeah.
so that when a kid gets a book, I'm able to see exactly what their interaction is. So every person that purchases a book, we connect with that person.
And it's much more personable, because then the kid can look at you and be like, wow, you wrote this book. And you can inspire that personally. You know what I'm saying? Be like, well, he's my same skin color. You know what I'm saying? He has, she has my same hair. Or she speaks Spanish, whatever. But you get it's more on a personal level, because it's, the inspiration is just not buying a book and seeing somebody that grew up in the same area or the same,
Right.
environment.
Yeah, so one of the things that is cool is, I think we've signed over 100 at this point
Oh, wow.
of books, and majority of those books
Congratulations.
have been for kids. And so if we know that there's a young lady or young man who's getting the book, and there's a way for us to connect with them, we'll do that, and we'll write a personal message to them.
That's awesome.
So I had one kid, one young man. He's like this TikTok genius. So my wife is like, we should write something about his TikTok. And so my wife came home and said the parent that bought the book for him, read the message, was like, he saw me on TikTok, I gotta go do more.
Inspiration, you guys. Inspiration.
So it was cool, because that's that connection that we're
Yes.
looking for. So, but for every author, let me be clear, for every author, the mindset is different. There's no one right way or wrong way.
Yeah.
It's your own vision. And so for me, it was about that connection piece. Because again, I always say, how can I connect with a kid and tell them they can be everything they want to be if I don't have that connection with the kids that I'm talking to?
Exactly.
So we're doing really well. We had a year goal for $1,000 in sales. We are almost well past that. I still don't know how.
And when did the book come out?
So the book just came out in July.
So it just came out? Oh my gosh, so it's a baby. Come and grab it, you guys. Fresh while it's hot. Oh, it's going to be a
So, question for you. How did you select the character names of your book?
The characters, a couple of them are random. Just random. I think it's Derek and Melissa.
Okay.
And then Sean Lee and Jaden. So Jaden is my niece. Sean Lee is the middle name of my son. So that's how I came up with them. And my wife was like, well, your niece, that's your favorite. And then your son, of course, which the book is dedicated to him, and my niece. And so she's like, well, why don't you just name it after two of the characters after them? And then I'm just like, I don't really know any other names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go with Derek and Melissa.
Derek.
And then the other day she's like, where did you
Come up with them names.
Look, they just came to me. That's it.
Yup, just whoop, they appeared.
That's it. That's how it happens.
So that's how I came up with them. Nothing special behind, except for my son and my niece. Nothing special behind it.
Okay.
And we did that so that, you know, as we go out and we really talk to kids, the kids can then connect with the characters.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, how much does your book cost?
So the book costs $14.50 per copy. We talked about that. That's the whole inner workings of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So it's $14.50. But the cool thing is we're, again, as I said, we're trying. So I didn't just do it, but probably a couple days after we released the physical copy of the book, we launched our 100 Kids Mission Read campaign.
Oh, wow.
So for any business or organization or community member who buys a bulk quantity of books, the price then scales down.
Okay. Awesome.
So the idea behind that is that when they purchase this book, so say you guys purchase 12 books. You purchase the 12 books, we then take those books and we give it to kids for free.
Definitely.
So the point behind the name is that we want to try to give 100 kids free books. So we're at 28 right now.
That's awesome.
And we're gonna, we're still working on that. Yep. So it's $14.50. You can get it on my website.
All right. Tell me your website so I can pin it.
So it's.
And then I'll put it in the that's all. You guys know what I'm talking about.
So it's TC Murdock Publishing.
All right, hold on. TC Murdock.
MURDOC.
Wait, so you have a whole publishing thing?
Remember, I sent it to you.
I know, but I didn't know, guys. She just blew me all up. I was surprised. So wait, you have a whole publishing? Tell us about that.
So
wait, hold on. TC Murdock. Sorry.
TC Murdock Publishing. .com.
Let me get my writing skills up.
Publishing. So tell us how you started your publishing company. How did that
So the publishing company, as again me being an entrepreneur, the publishing company just me saying, all right, I'm going to self-publish. It made only sense for me to create a publishing company around our first book. So that every other book I write, we're going to publish
through your publishing company.
Through the publishing company. There's several pieces as to why we did that. So the other piece is that, when you're publishing and when people become publishing companies, they tend to charge, as we well know, an arm and a leg. Thousands of dollars for and some individuals can't afford that.
I was just gonna say, so what is a publishing company? What do they do? Because I just wrote my book too. I don't know if you know.
Right.
I just wrote mine and I self-published it because I just went on a computer. Go, send it and go.
So it depends on what you're specifically looking for from that publishing company. But most publishing companies will help you get the book printed. They'll help you. If you want them to, they'll help you kind of craft and put together the book. They'll help you put them on platforms. They'll market the book. If they have someone to edit, they'll edit the book for you.
Press release.
They'll do a press release. Yeah, they'll
give you a page. It depends on your
budget where you want to go. Okay.
So with that is if someone doesn't really want to do
all of that themselves. Because it's a lot.
We're doing it, my wife is like the woman behind the scenes. She is absolutely the reason why we are where we are in sales, by the way. And
she the bomb.
She is.
Shout out to you. What is her name?
Sumiko.
Sumiko. Thank you.
And so we decided to just do it through our own publishing company, and also as we go, we can then help, authors or persons who want to be an author or write a book. We'll help them do that.
That's awesome.
So I'm eventually not going to be running that company. I have a partner who will be stepping up to run that company soon.
Good.
I don't need anything else.
I was just going to say, you went 5, 6, 7 businesses.
So tell us about your radio station you manage.
Oh, that's a whole nother. See, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, that too.
So I don't really manage it, but I'm the executive director of Grand Street Community Arts. Yeah, when do I sleep? I don't know.
Yeah. We know we struggle. We know the pain.
So, so
Definitely.
we have a building at 68 Grand Street.
Let me put this in the comments, which I'm also going to. Grand Street.
Community Arts.
Grand Street. And this is in Albany?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
And so we have radio station WCAA LP 107.3.
You're going to have to repeat that. Sorry. I'm putting capitalizations on the Grand Street Community Arts. WRCGB?
No.
That was all the way off.
That wasn't even close. She tried though.
She tried.
We wing it.
It's WCAA
I was all
Yeah, you.
dash LP 107.3 FM. And so it's a community radio station, and the community radio station is like a whole thing. By the way, I'm not even going to get into that tonight, but it's a whole thing. And community radio station, in short, is really meant to bring community together. So it's not your traditional 99.1 or your 96.3 or 92 whatever FM. It's really meant for people to from all walks of life, from different parts of the community to come on, and we have a lot of different persons on the radio station, from political people to reggae to, I mean, you name it, they're doing it. So I oversee it, but I don't manage it. So
How can I get on the radio station?
See, she asked.
You already know my mind is bing.
I got you. So I connect you with the.
Check it out. We're gonna have the rundown on the radio.
Yeah, okay.
Bang bang. Come on, Sheena, let's do
so
this.
and the cool thing is,
Stop playing with me.
COVID is like a blessing and a curse, because now all of our a good bit of our producers record from home.
Okay.
Which we never thought that would be a thing.
Exactly.
So it's super easy now, and we're always looking for people to.
Mark this down.
Oh, I got you.
We in there.
All we do is connect you with the.
Stay tuned. The rundown on the radio.
So like, if you're doing this, you could record this. Your show.
Exactly. And put it on there.
Send it to me.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Got you.
We there. Okay, and that's the community.
Yeah, already
arts.
asked that. We was
I already asked.
We was gonna talk about it after the show.
I was just late, but I throw it up in there. Now I want that now. Okay.
So yeah, but as far as the book is concerned, we're really excited to have it out. I had it out, I think, in record time. I wasn't expected to have the physical copy out until August.
Yeah.
We had it out in July. We released the electronic copy of the book. That didn't really do so hot because it's a children's book, and people are like, I want the physical copy.
Exactly.
And then as far as the publishing company, we're learning some things. Business-wise, I know a lot, but book-wise, we're learning some things. And so, for example, we have a printing company right now, but if we don't like them, we're going to change. And so that's one of the things that we're always continuously examining.
Yeah.
We're examining the price all the time. And what people don't realize is, like, with books and authors, people walk up to you and like, hey, can I get a copy for free? And as much as I know you can hear it.
They probably want
but what people don't realize is that when so for us, the reason why we did 100 Kids Mission Read the way we did it is because if a kid needs a free book, the community has to drive that portion of it.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that kids are still reading and they're getting books and they're getting them for free if their parent cannot afford it.
Exactly.
We know that $14.50 is a lot for some parents.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to provide a pathway for parents to be able, or kids to be able to still get the book.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
So that's why we did it that way. But, for people who are looking to start, you've got to factor in, okay, first and foremost, and these are things that I learned off rip. First is the printing cost. Mm-hmm. So there's a printing cost. Then there's a shipping cost from the printer. So that's like a whole thing. And now with COVID, they're just breaking you So I think we ordered. I think the highest at one time we ordered was probably like 40 books, and I think we paid in shipping alone like $70.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's nuts.
It really is.
But that's the first shipping piece of it.
Yeah.
Then you get the books, and then we got to ship them out
We gotta
again.
ship them out to the people.
So now we're paying double the cost
yeah.
for shipping. The problem is so evaluate two things, and this is how I evaluate it. This is how we came to the price, right? So the book is $14.50. If I have you purchase the book from me, I have to now think about how much I'm going to charge you for shipping, and then I have to worry about if you really care enough about this book that you never read, right?
To pay the shipping.
To pay the shipping cost.
Mm-hmm.
So a book that was $14.50 can easily turn into a $26 book,
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
right? I've seen books recently that are like $26, and you know, my wife and I go back and forth all the time about the price. We don't, you know, even though it's my book, my wife is, like I said, she's the trooper, she's the partner, you name it, she's there, even in the heat. Last weekend.
Yep, last weekend.
So we just had a conversation like 2 weeks ago about, you know, the cost of the book, and you know, if it made sense to leave the cost where it is. This book started out at $12.50, but because of the cost of shipping, you know, we had to take it up. But then what's the baseline, and where do we stop? Because we don't want, again, to make this book so expensive that people don't want to purchase it.
And that it doesn't reach the people that it's intended, the kids that it's intended to go to.
Yeah.
Correct. So then the other piece is I always think of things as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I looked at it and I said, all right, this is my book.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I have to think about it as if it's not my book. Will I go in the store
That's how I
and spend
look at it.
$17
Exactly.
on this book?
Yep, that's
right?
exactly how I look at it.
Or if the book retails at $17, and then I got to go on your website and shipping is
Like
$5.75 or $6 or whatever it is, that means the book is like $23. Am I gonna go in the store and spend $23 on this book? I'm not. It's my book, and I'm saying I love it.
Yeah.
So I had to
Find a happy medium.
find a happy medium, but also have common sense
Yeah.
as an entrepreneur and
Yeah.
a business person.
Because you don't want to be losing out money
in the same
and trying to provide a service, because then it's just gonna make no sense of what you're doing.
Yeah. So then
You'll come out under.
for people who are looking to self-publish, right? So then the other thing that you got to think about is we have to send this stuff off. So I got to go purchase envelopes. I got to go purchase, or I got to go to the post office and get the flat rate shipping, depending. Somebody ordered 5 books.
Yep.
So I had to. So what I did, I cheated the system a little bit. I just went and I purchased. You can go on the post office
little
website.
scale?
Yeah.
Well, I got the scale from Staples.
Okay.
The post office is
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
talk about that
the
later.
whole nother
So-
topic.
so-
That's the marketing back end part of
Uh-huh.
the whole
So
nother
so we did get a scale, and we really don't need the scale because unless I'm sending out like a mass quantity of
Yeah.
books, but I got it just to have it. So we sent out 5 books. I had to go get a flat rate shipping envelope. So then now what people don't realize is that's now outside of my normal shipping costs.
Yeah.
That we're gonna eat. So I think we spent like $8.50 in shipping for that.
Wow.
And so then it's okay, the person bought X and X amount of books, so their shipping, it balances out. But for a person that buys 1 book and the shipping may end up being $7, so then we had this thing with the post office where we were doing it online and we were paying like $7 per shipment of books. So I sent out like 20 books, it was $7 per book. So I stopped the postman one day and said, listen, man, I told him the whole
Exactly.
spiel. And he's like, well, and he was really good. He gave me some advice, and then I went to the post office, and the person behind the teller was like, well, you can still do it online, but it's, So, we're at this thing where now it's like $3 and some change to ship it off, which is not as bad as $7.
Yeah.
So, now, but, long story short, it's about, for people who are looking to publish, you really got to, like,
Calculate
all of it. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And it's a business within itself.
Yeah.
But, again, for me, my wife is like, well, how come you just don't have your printer do it? Like, why don't you have them send it out? Again, it's about that connection with knowing that you're sending something to somebody and they get it,
Yes.
and they communicate back with you and they say, hey, I really appreciate your book.
Yeah.
And so, we've shipped out, oh man, I don't even know how many books now.
Let's say, because it really does, that personal connection when you leave a little personal note in and just saying, hey, thank you so much. Like, it's handwritten, not just like something that's stamped. It's just, it means so much more, and you make the connection, and who knows, they may want to buy more, you know what I'm saying?
And I think
whatever.
that's what, what has made, made it easy for us, because, we've tried to make personal connections with people.
Yeah.
We try to connect with people that it means the most to. So kids, of course.
Yes.
Teachers. If you work in an after-school program, if you are over a pre-K program, you name it, we're trying to make connections with you. And this is not, and I think you heard me say it, it's not a monetary thing. This is really so we can spread some type of positivity.
Love and light. And you can always also help the parents, because there's parents out there, whether they're young or older, they don't know how to inspire their children because maybe they're dealing with their own stuff. You know what I mean? So by them purchasing the books and then even reading it to their children, the parents also get inspired. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's not too late. I can still climb that mountain. You know what I mean? And everything. So that's awesome.
So the cool thing about this book is in the back of it, which I think was the biggest piece of this book. There's I guess you could say, the whole book is like an affirmation, but there's like an affirmation that they can repeat. They can open this book and repeat it every day to themselves.
That is so cool.
I'll show it to you.
And we always talk about positive affirmations.
You don't need to see this again.
No, I've seen it already.
So this piece of the book is really, so let me go back to my childhood for a second. So I had a favorite book. It was called My Old Teddy. That was my favorite book. My mother, we laugh about it to this day. My son actually has one of my copies. My mother ended up having to get me, I had a copy. I read it so much that the binding came off.
Yeah.
And then she bought me a new copy.
I know, that's right.
And then my son has the copy that I had, the second copy that I had.
That's awesome.
So, remembering that in the sense of having a favorite book to go back to. How can I make this to where a kid will go back to it and need it?
That is so cool. I love that.
So the affirmation piece of it is so that even though they read it,
I'm just gonna give them a little quick view, guys.
quick
view. You gotta purchase it to get the whole thing.
Yeah, you gotta buy it.
Buy that book. Go to his website.
TCMurdockPublishing.com.
Okay,
Yes,
but
please
that
get it.
is a beautiful, inspiring
other
affirmation
So
for the children to read.
So the idea was that they were. So I had this. When I wrote this book, I had like all of these visions. So the idea is that I have a kid who gets this book, and they're having a horrible day at school. They open the book, right, and they go to the back. They already read the book. They go to the back, and this is what they're reciting in the mirror, right? And the idea behind that is that when you repeat something, it becomes repetition.
Yes.
It becomes muscle memory. So if they're repeating this every day, then they're going to go out and they're going to, hold that affirmation, and they're going to hold themselves accountable to that. And so we're hoping that this becomes one of those, all-time favorite books, that they read.
Putting it out there, baby. It will. Let it manifest.
Another one.
Yes. So. We were just talking about, and so let me say yes, but not within the next year.
Okay.
We have an idea of what we want to do. And actually, there's some layers. There's more layers.
We'll talk all
He can't reveal it all, you guys.
So what I will say is that this is going to turn into a series in
That's
itself.
awesome.
But what we're thinking about, and what my wife and I were talking about, is maybe having editions of children's books that kind of help them along the way.
Yeah.
So, you know, we told you can get up the mountain, but now we need to build up that personality.
Exactly.
So, you know, can't get too much, but that's
yeah.
You know, you got
And there's so many things you could take each character and put their own little story separately. You know what I'm saying?
So
well, what this one's up, you know, has to conquer and
right.
motivate. And
so that's so actually. So you give it over. So what we want to do with this is we want to eventually create a second edition to this book.
Yeah.
So the second edition will kind of give a timeline of each character. You know, they started as a younger person wanting to be this, kind of like the affirmation pages you saw.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a timeline, and somebody gave me that idea.
That's
and then the other piece, which we didn't do, but we want to do, is we want to add a journal piece to it.
That would be nice.
So we would add a journal to the back side of this.
So the kids can write in it, and exactly.
Yep.
That's a beautiful idea.
So that would more than likely be the second edition. Now, if you ask me when it's coming out, I don't know.
No timeline.
Look, all in God's time. All in God's time.
It's in the brain.
Yeah.
But it don't need to come out anytime soon.
Let this soak up all the good stuff right now.
You just published it. So you gotta give
so
it
we're
its
not.
time to
We talk about things just to flesh out the ideas, and so when my wife asks questions, I like to answer them because
so
she doesn't have.
I was saying he's a good husband, babe. You might want to take a note or two from him.
Right. So.
Happy wife, happy life.
Oh, I know that. I know that for real. So, you know, I'm excited though. I've been in youth development for you know, like I said, since I was 19. So probably 12 or 13 years at this point.
Yeah.
And there's just so many kids out that are, you know, struggling, or we always say in youth development, we don't know what our kids are going on.
A lot of kids need guidance.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's going on just in Albany and Troy alone. You know what I mean? Like, these poor kids have no guidance because they see what's happening in the streets, you know, and some unfortunately fall victim to it, you know what I'm saying? And some have strong backbones to be able to pull them in another direction, but, you know, the other ones, you know, it's cool to walk around and sell drugs and shoot people and blah, blah, blah. You know, they need positive influence and guidance, and that's definitely...
and that's a piece. So we're talking about writing a team book. I actually had somebody ask me if we were going to write a team book. And that's coming, you know, but, you know, to me, and what I didn't realize at first, and now, you know, as I, you know, continue to grow, this is always room for growth.
Yes, it is.
We really need to ask teenagers what they want.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had this crazy idea, but how can we set up a workshop for teenagers, and then they write their own book.
Exactly.
They write their own
Why
Teens
not?
101.
Get them creative juices flowing.
Because then it's saying that they, two pieces, so they can take ownership of something.
Yes.
Call it their own.
Yep.
But at the same time, they can again tell us what they want. We as adults have this tendency to say, "Oh, well, these kids need this."
Yeah.
But not
they
knowing
don't.
exactly
But
what they really need.
what do we know?
Yeah.
You know, when I say, "Oh, well, teens need this," that's based on my experience, not their experience.
Because when we forget that when we were young, we always used to be like, parents just don't understand.
They don't know.
Okay, they don't
what I'm
understand the
going through.
struggle that we going through, and sometimes they can't really because times do change. You know what I mean? And situations are different. So it totally makes sense to have them write down, you know, what it is that they want. You know, what is it that they're looking for. You know what I mean? And then
what's going to strengthen them, what's going to empower them,
exactly,
what's going to motivate them.
And then to be able to see the finished product.
Right.
And that will help inspire, like, oh my gosh, I wrote a book at 15 years old.
And then
you know
what
what I
we
mean?
do is we inspire another group of authors.
Exactly. That is amazing.
So one of the things that my wife and I was talking about too, is, so Sheena and I are in a bunch of these author groups. And one of the things that I noticed is that there's not a lot of males of color writing children's books.
It's not.
So my wife pointed that out to me, and I was like, I didn't really think about it that way.
Yeah.
Until, you write the book, you're writing the book. But it's something different when the book is out, and then you have to look at all of these different aspects. And so, I really want to inspire other males to jump in the game.
Exactly.
I do know there's a few, there's an author in Albany, his sons are actually the authors of the book.
I think I seen him
Oh,
last
cool.
year or something. But yeah.
And it's a dope book,
Because wasn't it about his parents getting a divorce or something?
So that's one.
Okay.
No, that's one. There's another one about his two brothers, and they wrote the book, and I forgot what it was about, but it's a children's book. If I can find it, I'll put it in the feed. But we just want to encourage other males to step up. That's a big piece of it.
Yeah.
These kids have to see other people doing positive things.
Exactly.
In order, we can't say, oh well, yeah, you should be doing positive things, but they have no example
Of it at all.
of it to go by.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I also try not to do is judge each individual person for what they do and how they do it. Because listen, everybody has their purpose on this earth.
Mm-hmm. That is a whole fact.
Some people are meant to be in the streets and helping these kids out.
Yep.
Some people are not.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are meant to be in youth programs. Some people are meant to be educators. Some people are meant to be activists. Some people are meant to be working in a grocery store. Everybody has their place in the world, and we have to respect that.
Definitely.
And so as that pertains to our young folks, I always call it staying in my lane. We just need to, find a way to stay in our lane so that we can save our kids.
Yeah.
And then doing the work for the right reason.
Yes.
Because not to gain any clout, you're doing, because some people do that. They do it to gain knowledge. Like, I did this for so and so.
Right. So this book, right? People always come to me, well, why'd you ask me, why'd you write a book? And I always have to remind people it's not about, if I get my name off of it. My name's on the front, of course. I'll gain some type of recognition. But it really goes back to changing lives.
Yes. That
And
is a whole fact.
changing lives when they're young.
Yes.
Because that's when it's most important. My son is 7.
Yeah.
If I wasn't gonna, let's say I just decided not to be a parent,
Mm-hmm.
and then at 16 I want to come and try to be a parent, and then I want to tell him what he's gonna do. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because at 16 he's already out there doing
Yeah,
whatever,
like,
he,
who are
He's
you?
like, what?
whatever
Who
he
are
wants to
you?
do.
Exactly.
So we just have to be, we gotta be smart, and we
You gotta
gotta,
instill it
Yeah.
young.
yep, and just be out here for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Our kids need, I've heard a lot of people say it, and do things that are going to make a difference and that kids know that we care, So, what other questions you got for me? I know you got another question that you didn't ask me yet.
You pretty much answered them, but what kind of research did you do and how long did you spend researching it before you began your book?
So I honestly didn't do any research. I used, and I don't know if you want to say that, but I used my own experiences working within youth development, taking all the years of it, I guess you could say examples, just listening to kids, seeing them, go through different phases. I've had parents come and say they don't know where they're staying at. I've had kids who come in and say they've been abused by their parent. We've had parents come in drunk to pick up their kids. We've had kids come. So, in 13 years, we've seen a little bit of everything. And so, I took those experiences but I also wanted to make sure that we didn't write something that people felt like I knew everything.
Yeah.
Because I don't know everything.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that our kids are facing some form of an obstacle.
Exactly.
And that they can use not only a listening ear, but someone that pushes them to overcome whatever obstacles there are. But, you know, again, keeping in mind that we don't know everything. So you don't find any stats in this book.
Yeah.
You know, on the back, if you read the back of it, it just says that through my professional experiences, you know, I wrote this book noticing that kids, especially kids who live in underprivileged communities, especially kids of black and brown, color, pigment, or however you want to say it, they face these obstacles. And there are people out there doing great work, but there's always that one kid that falls through the cracks.
I know, it's so sad.
And so, you know, we're not, you know, started out at 19, I had this mindset, I'm going to save every kid. But I'm not going to save every kid.
You're going to try.
One at a time, baby.
One at a time.
They told me, they're like, you always want to help everybody. You can't help the world. I said, I can help one at a time.
Well, and
One
I always,
person
you know,
at
I
a
had to
time.
say, and if I save one, I've done my job today.
And that's what it is. And you don't realize the amount of change that, you know, you help somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't realize the healing and the helping that you do. You won't get it right then and there. It'll be like 10 years later, they come back to you like, oh, you don't understand how much you helped me, how much you changed my life. You know what I'm saying? I got people coming out to me that I used to work with like forever ago. They were like, Jess, you don't understand. I totally forgot. I was like, what the hell?
It's the impact.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, you took the time out and you helped me get my house. And I'm like, oh, that's probably when I first, you know what I'm saying? Just sending knowledge, sending, you know, inspiration. I'm like,
So
she was like, everything, you know. I was like,
to that point, so I started off in my whole youth development excursion. I started off as a volunteer at Gifford Elementary.
Gifford Elementary? Kiki! You used to go to Gifford. My daughter. She was like, knee high, tell about me.
So I went to Gifford too. Went to Gifford, Hackett, Albany High.
Oh, makes sense.
All of these places. So I started as a volunteer, and I think I spent maybe a year there, a year and a half. And there was one young man that, you know, he's a young man now, but he was a little boy at that time. And, you know, he had a lot going on at home. And one of the things is he would just, you know, randomly run out of the classroom. So I was the one that they would call because me and this young man had a relationship. And so I was able to kind of like get him back in class, or he would want to hang out with me, and, you know. And so that was our relationship. You know, he, you know, went on and I moved on, and, you know, I didn't see him. So about, I'm going to say 2 years ago, I went into Dunkin' Donuts on Madison Avenue, and I get my coffee. Oh, it's my day. You know. And he says, hey, are you Mr. Murdock? I said, yeah, who are you? And he says, you know, my name is so-and-so, and if you don't remember, I was the young man that was at Gifford who used to run in and out of the classroom. And I said, wow, so what do you do with yourself? And he says, hey, I'm going into the Marine Corps, and I'm, you know, doing X, Y, and Z. And so, you know, I don't know how true it was, but let's say it was, and that he's doing well. You know, that's exciting to see. We don't know the impact we're leaving.
I was just gonna say that.
You know, we don't know, and it could be the littlest things that we're doing. That make an impact.
Really, because for him to remember you, X amount of you, like your whole name, Mr. Murdock.
19.
Yeah.
He was 19.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we feel like I was old.
Like, oh my God.
But,
like, I need to see your baby pictures so I can remember.
And then you just go down the line. Like, I have kids that, you know, and it's crazy how time flies. They say how time flies when you're having fun. And, you know, there's a number of kids, and it seems like they're growing faster than I'm growing because, you know, I might have worked with this kid, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, and this kid is now a senior in high school, and they're, you know, getting ready to go off to college. And so, to your question, I just took all of those experiences and put it into this book. So, yeah.
So what do your work schedule look like when you're writing?
I don't know when I fit in anything. And it's even worse now because my office is at home. So, I'm really trying to find and learn this work-life balance thing. So I haven't. This is the only one we wrote, and I sat down and wrote. Like I said, I wrote it in 15, maybe 30 minutes. And I haven't decided to put another pen to paper because, first and foremost, in order to create connection, I have to slow down. Yeah. And focus on what's in it. Trust me, I'm still learning. So I have to focus on what's in front of me. So this is in front of me now. We do have some ideas for what the future holds, but people lose sight of where they come from and where they started. And so I feel like for me, if I even move another inch forward in this realm, I'm going to lose sight of where we came from and where we're trying to go.
Exactly.
People crank them out. People crank out books, but I really want to focus on getting this book out.
You gotta nurture it like a baby.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. You gotta water, you gotta grow it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta bond with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it can manifest to be the best that it's gonna be.
And then I'm a new author too, right? So we don't want to confuse the message.
Yeah.
I want the message to be as pure as day. I want you to understand the message. So people ask me things. You ask me some good questions like, when's the next book coming out? I don't know.
But I'm telling you, you're going to get it every time.
Because once they read your book, they're going to want more.
You like, listen, it's coming. Just be patient.
And that's my response usually. It's coming. But let's get let's get to this one.
Let's get to this one.
Exactly.
That's how it is.
Yes.
And then what I do is people come up to the table. I don't have kids. Oh well, I got a kid who can't afford the book.
You want to buy it, and then we donate it somewhere.
And we've had people do it.
Exactly.
Once we say it to them, like, hey,
But even if you don't have kids, somebody that got kids.
Niece, nephew,
you know what I'm saying?
So, and what we'll do with the book is once the person buys it, we'll put the name of the person that either bought the book or the company that donated it. Yeah. And then we'll give it out.
Now, what about libraries? Can this be found in our library yet? Are you thinking about putting it in libraries?
So,
how does that work?
We haven't got. We're starting to branch out and reach out to districts and libraries. We did reach out to the City School District of Albany. We do have.
That would be a great book to put in the schools.
If that goes through, we'll have 70 books in pre-K classrooms by let's say October.
That would be amazing.
So we're starting to do that. We're working on, South Carolina is where my wife is from, so we have some connections out there. We've sent a book as far as Hawaii.
That's cool.
We've sent a book as far as California.
What about the whole? Okay. She's like, Scholastic readings. You know how they have the book fairs in the school? Do they still have that? The book fairs?
Everything is virtual
I'm about to say
now.
everything's virtual.
Oh, probably not now.
So that's the struggle that, as far as children's books we're finding.
Yeah.
Is it's tough now because schools aren't as open.
Exactly. So when they do get back open, because I remember going to the little book fairs at school. You know what I'm saying? And my mom used to give me a couple dollars, whatever. But I made it happen. You know what I mean? And I remember, this is such a book that I would pick out. Number one, just the visuals of it. I'm a visual person. You didn't ask me the question
about the cover yet. You didn't even ask me where that came from.
Well, we're gonna get to that.
You had already
so talking about the whole visual of it. Tell us, like I said, when I was going back when I was a knee-high, but I would have grabbed this book because I love the colors. I love the visual of it. I'm such a spacey person. You know what I'm saying? All about the universe. The moon is everything. So I would have grabbed it. You know what I'm saying? And I love the fact that, number one, you have a variety of cultures in here. You know what I'm saying? So talk to me about it.
The cover.
Let's talk about the cover.
So the cover is I actually came up with the cover before I even wrote anything down.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I think I hit her up, and I hit a couple other friends up, and I was like, yo, I have this vision for this cover.
Mm-hmm.
And the cover had to be something that jumped out at people.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That would have grabbed my attention immediately.
So when I talked about the cover, you know, to me, being anything you want to be is abstract. So I can't have a cover with just someone on here and they're in a spaceship. That's common.
Yeah.
Right? So I said, all right, yeah, of course we got to put the person on the moon with the spaceship. Fine. I mean, the students. But what about the fireman or the firewoman?
Exactly.
Or the ballerina? Like, why can't we make this a conversation starter of why there are 3 or 4 kids on the moon?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can be anything. And you can double and be multiple things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can be an astronaut and play sports.
Yeah.
Right? You can be a ballerina and still be a nurse too.
Exactly.
You know, so we really wanted, or I really wanted the cover to be a super conversation starter. And then on the back, there's this lovely young lady who, you know, somebody was like, we need to modernize it a little bit. So if you go through the book, there's pieces where, you know, somebody has a cell phone and somebody's got a tablet because we gotta, you know, that's
make it relatable to now.
So, but she's on the back and she's still in space. And then the front cover, you know, if you look at the front cover, it's a spaceship.
Oh wow! Let me show them.
So, you know, I don't know how it transcended
That's
into
so cool.
this
It was set
space
to you.
theme.
You know, the mind works.
And so the illustrator, her name is Aisha Purvis. You can find her on Instagram. I will give you the information for that. She's dope. She killed the graphics, and then so a little secret behind the scenes, right? So this space cover was actually supposed to be the mantra page, but we switched it because we didn't like it.
Okay.
So then we were like, yo, she drew it. It looks nice, man. Listen, when you open that, I could be in space.
Exactly.
On a spaceship, right? And we're already talking about, as soon as you open it, you're already talking about, oh man, I love that.
Yes, definitely.
You know, so, you know, the cover is I think this is like the best thing, one of the best things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that immediately grabbed my attention, and I know like even kids, they're gonna gravitate towards it. So if you
we've
can,
had kids like give us raving reviews. I had kids send us videos so far.
That's so cool.
Like I even had a little one. A parent bought it for a little one. They were reading the book last night. I got a picture, but they were also eating the book too at the same time. So
not eating the book. It is not edible, you guys. Okay.
They was trying.
So here, I'll tell you what my favorite page. You know what my favorite page is? You should know this.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna guess on a number.
She low key consulted in the book, so she should know it.
Oh, let's see. Give me a number.
Let her tell me. I know about the book.
Give me. Oh, you want me to look through it? I was gonna say page number 7. So let's see. Okay. Well, I'll have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Which one is 7?
Says, I will promise myself to never give up on my dreams.
So, no, that's actually my least favorite page.
I was getting something.
No, I mean, there's no least favorite, but
which one is that?
This one.
Okay. I will be powerful even when others say I'm powerless. Superwoman!
So the concept.
Wait,
so
what am I supposed to be looking at?
But you see how
it's dragging her down?
No, it's
No,
not
so-
dragging her, but she
Oh,
can
it's
grow
big.
into it.
Oh, okay.
So the concept behind she do that.
What? I mean, I was trying to get her to get the concept.
I see super. I see
So
Superwoman.
right, so you can be a superhero. You know, there's no real.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there is superheroes out there, but so the concept behind that was to kind of give the superhero theme.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
younger, and my parent is this superhero,
Yeah.
right? And I want to be just like them, or I want to be a superhero, but the costume is too big.
Mm-hmm.
My mom said I can't be a superhero yet. I'm not ready. But I know that I'm powerful, even if my mom says I'm not ready.
Exactly. So that's crazy. So it's like so much deeper into it than just the words. Like because so the illustrations
Play by.
also make you have to focus on what is going on,
Mhm.
so that, you know what I mean.
So if you go to, if you go to the page with where's the boxer at? So, I don't, and then he has a cape on, like, so, so it says, "I can and I will be anything I put on."
I know that's right.
So, it goes back to that, like, he's got this cape on, but he's wearing boxing gloves and a mask.
Yep.
I mean,
You can do it
that
all.
could be a
You can be a
superhero and a boxer. Why
Superman.
not?
You can be a boxer and a boxer superhero.
And so it just there was some pieces that the illustrator did on her own and she like killed, and then there was parts where I like had a vision
Yeah.
for what that page and what that message was supposed to look like and what it was supposed to be like, and so we really wanted people to
Yeah, that's amazing.
understand the power behind it,
Get the vision.
And so the illustrator, she's dope. She put in the work. And I'm still on her for stuff
Yeah.
to this day.
That's how it be.
And so I can't we appreciate her too, because this was something that, so I had a particular want, and so one of my boys put me on to her because I didn't want to have somebody draw it, and then I have to take it to somebody to digitize it.
Yeah, just the whole back and forth.
So I just wanted one person that could do the work
Yeah.
and be done. She worked through COVID to get this book done.
Oh wow.
And so this is the product we got.
And it's amazing.
It's
I
awesome.
love it.
Yay, we
I
love
do
it.
love it. I'm gonna get my copy, guys.
And
you
y'all
guys
please
gotta
go out
get
and
your
get-
copies, okay?
So can you tell us where all your platforms they can find you at?
Exactly. And any events that
Any
you are
events that
doing.
you got coming up?
Oh, all right. So you put me on the spot.
Yep, boom.
Rundown spot.
That's
Hot
what we
seat.
do.
Okay, so as far as platforms, you can find me. I guess I'll give you the new website, because the new website has all the events I'm going to be at over the next month.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in www.
Tayshawn.me.
Is it a thing or just all together, Tayshawn?
Tayshawn, I'm sorry, did I say anything else? Tayshawn C. Murdock.
No, you know how you had the hyphenate.
Yeah.
No, it's all
It's all together. Okay.
That's what she was after.
Tayshawn C.
C. Murdock.
Murdock.
.me.
.me.
So that's the website. That's the new website. So if you go on there, it's new. It's not launched yet, but it has my events and everything else on there. I can't tell you. I'm at quite a few events thanks to somebody over here.
I know
So-
she be plugging me in
put you
too.
to work.
Sheena is
So,
the
I don't
plug,
even
you
know.
guys.
I don't even know what's happening. I just
She got me in the author thing. I think you're in it too,
Y'all
right?
both on that
Yep, so
October
we gonna
1st.
come see us in that. That's
oh,
October
the
1st.
virtual tour.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
virtual
I
tour.
just shared it today.
And
It's
then
got-
actually you got the book tour that we're doing the 25th and the 24th and 25th. in
Yeah, I'm
October.
doing that.
I don't know anything else right now. That's all I remember.
I'm doing the JC's show
Oh yeah,
on
that
the
interview.
21st.
Okay.
I don't know. Listen,
Yeah, but
Go-
those
go
are
to
the
the-
three
Go
top
to
ones right
the-
now. Go to the
the-
website.
the
The
website.
website, and I'm gonna put it on the up top too, so
Yep,
that
and
way
then they can order the
instantly-
book through that website as well.
Okay, cool.
They can find out about 100 Kids Mission Read on that website as well. They can also go to tcmurdockpublishing.com.
Yep, that one I got up there.
And that's the publishing company itself. So they can, they can also order the book through there.
What about your one stop?
One
Being
Team, One Dream?
One dream.
So
yeah, one more time.
One Team, One Dream.
One team, one
So
dream.
it's One Team, One Dream Cares.org.
That's also
Okay,
the
put it all
social
together.
network group that we got on the side of that.
Oh, that's what I talked about that too. Cares.org.
Dreams.org. One team, one dreams. Is it dreams or dream?
One Team, One Dream Cares.org.
Oh, care. That's what it is.
So no S on Dreams, Cares.
Cares with an S.
Yep.
That
.org.
word. Okay. And then there was something else?
Okay, so One Team One Dream, we do have a couple things coming out.
Yeah, there we go. Come on.
So we have our, well, this is not new, but we have our social community that is open to anybody who wants to join. This lady over here facilitates one of them. So we have.
I might be joining that too, guys. Get me on deck. Let's go.
I'll send it to you.
Send it to me, baby.
So we're trying to really build that. So that group was developed at the beginning of COVID, when I was like, yo, bro, why I gotta be at home now? And I'm sure other people were feeling the same way.
Exactly.
So it's supposed to be a platform where individuals can share and like come together in a positive way to inspire, motivate, share content.
That's what we're all about.
And we're really trying to build it. So we're at 150 members.
Oh wow, that's
But
awesome.
we would like to, elevate that and
Definitely.
grow that. So we have two groups. We have one in New York and one in South Carolina.
Okay.
The one in South Carolina is probably at like 100 people.
Yeah, I think it's like 100.
Oh wow.
Fine.
You can add me to that, baby.
So
I invite you
Okay.
I don't honestly, to be honest, like I don't have anything to do with the group
to.
right
You
now.
just created it.
I just created it. I have too much on my plate, so she's been like kind of running that. And then what else? So I guess I could say it right now. So we have our like We Are Stronger Together line coming out.
Okay, let me put that down. Hold on.
So
We are stronger together.
yep. So you can buy any of the merch on our website. And the website is the address I gave you.
Okay, so we are stronger together.
Yeah. So the merch for that is out and ready to go.
Awesome.
You can buy a hoodie, you can buy a T-shirt, you can buy
Mask.
all that. So the idea behind We Are Stronger Together is kind of a stem off of our Feed the Community, with the idea and the mindset that when we come together, we can do a lot
Yes.
to make change in our community.
Yes, definitely.
One of these things is that I feel like we have to let down the barriers and the egos and realize that, there can't be egos. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? And I think I've had egos.
Mm-hmm.
So, I use myself as an example. In order for us to really make true change, we have to do it together. Doesn't matter where you came from. Doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. Doesn't matter if you black, white, green, orange, yellow. We all live on the same planet. Doesn't make a difference. So we gotta come together so that we can make change for these individuals in the community who need it. And so we just want to, again, another route to share a positive message. So
Everybody knows we all about that uplifting, inspiring, empowering, you know what I mean, guiding, helping, healing. That's everything that, definitely you are doing, and I definitely myself commend you for all that you are doing.
I don't think anything to do that.
No, you got it wrong.
She's also your secretary. When his wife is not around.
Between her and my wife.
Keep you on point, baby, on point.
We
So,
appreciate having
thank
you,
you,
Mr.
my
Murdock.
love.
Thank you for coming
Shout out.
to the rundown.
Check him out, October 1st, and all the other goodies that's coming up. Check out the websites,
And
okay?
grab his book.
Purchase his book. I'm getting your book right now, baby. Right now, I'm getting
And
that.
alive.
You, Sheena, you got anything you got going on?
What is
Put you on. Look, now she on the spot.
Hold on. Nope. I got an interview. What's today? Friday? I got an interview tonight. And then I have one on the 10th.
Can you sign
I'll
my
be
copy,
in Jamaica.
please?
I'll be on another one on the 14th to 17th. That's still another interview. And then in October, I'm co-hosting a domestic violence marathon. I'm on a virtual tour on the 24th and the 25th. And that's all I know right now.
She is
And
booked
then I got a
and
couple of things coming in
busy.
November. But yeah.
Booked,
And
busy,
don't forget,
and
our
unbothered.
film is coming out in October.
Yes,
So
you
we'll
guys.
keep y'all posted on is Through Your Eyes, The Mask Behind the Mask. And then, of course, make sure y'all get your copy of The Mask Behind the
Okay.
Mask. Book 2 has went to editing, hopefully being out soon.
All
And
right.
we love y'all.
Okay, grab my book, Poetic Blessings from
where my
Above.
Ain't no hard copies here right now.
My Blessings magazine is coming out in October.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got amazing writers,
Yes.
okay, in the
My
building.
section will be the ingredients to the soul, for the soul.
Yes, honey. all about uplifting, inspiring, and educating. If you guys want to advertise in it, message me. I'll get you in it, okay? Have a blessed day. Love y'all. Thank you. Bye-bye.